A story that gun control advocates and gun rights supporters will probably want to weigh in on. If you're a fan of crime shows like CSI, or if you remember the DC sniper case, then you've probably heard of ballistics evidence. That is where examiners compare the marks on bullet fragments and testify in court that there is no doubt the bullet was fired from a particular gun. Well, this week, Maryland's highest court ruled that ballistics evidence is not what many of us may think. In fact, they determined that science isn't good enough to stand up in court anymore. Tonight, Scott Broom is in Maryland with how this could impact hundreds of other cases.
Maryland State Supreme Court, in a split decision this week, decided that microscopic ballistics evidence is simply too fuzzy for juries to rely on for a conviction. It's a stunning turn for a forensic method that took center stage in the case against the D.C. snipers, John Muhammad and Lee Malvo. They were convicted in part with ballistics evidence, microscopic marks on fired bullets described as the DNA of a gun. The prosecutor said proved it was Muhammad's Bushmaster rifle that was used to kill 17 and terrorize our region nearly 21 years ago. Ballistics expert Walter Dandridge recalled his D.C. sniper investigation in an interview with WUSA 9 on the 20th anniversary of the case.
The bullet travels down the barrel, it picks up land impressions.
But in a 4-3 split decision, Maryland Supreme Court ruled the science is simply not reliable. Here's Jeffrey Gillerin, the chief of forensics for Maryland's Office of the Public Defender, to explain.
That science does not support matching a bullet or a cartridge case to a particular gun. There was a study called Ames 2, and what that study found that when they tried to reproduce the opinions of one examiner versus another examiner, they found that over 50% of the time, the second examiner came to a different conclusion on the same evidence than the first examiner.
I think it's going to resonate all over the United States.
Attorney Stanley Reed was on the team that appealed a 2012 conviction of a Prince George's County man that burst the bubble on ballistics evidence in Maryland.
This is the most thorough, comprehensive look at the issues surrounding firearms, tool mark technology, and the practice of any court in the country.
Gillerin said this decision will impact literally hundreds of criminal cases in Maryland every year. Ballistics evidence, he said, can still be used to narrow down what kind of gun may have been used in a crime, but it can't be used anymore to pin a shooting on a specific gun, the way it was used in the D.C. sniper case. In Maryland, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.